rained a bunch over the past couple of days, and it's too muddy to take the car up. So before we start our vineyard projects, we have to walk all the way to the top of the hill with all of our supplies. That's our lunch bag. That's the husband. Wave hello! Oh, nice. This is the Pinot Noir down here, and the Syrah over there. And look at the mustard grass right now. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, so what are we doing?
We're coming in to do a little bit of early suckering and kind of removing some extra buds. So like shoots like this that are growing below the fruiting wire, we're just going to go through and knock them off.
Well, the tractor went through, but...
Yeah, they went through with the weed knife, but
I don't know that it came up here.
No, it looked like it went through the whole vineyard. It's just, there's just a lot of moisture and a lot of weeds growing.
Oh, brother. So our project today is to do this suckering and removing shoots, but also to try to get all the weeds that the tractor didn't get.
At least some of the big ones.
Peter had some fantasy before we went to bed last night. Oh, that sounded weird. You had you had an idea that we were going to get through, a game plan that we were going to get through all of the Chardonnay, which is all of this behind me, and all of that, all of the Pinot Noir, and there's just no way. This is how you do this? These are real. Some of these are too big, Minnie. So you're using a shovel and not a hoe.
Yeah, it's more better pull it, come and cooking everything rooster. This year maybe it's minus malva.
Oh, there's too much malva.
Yeah, I know.
Let me see. That's as big as your body. Do one more, Minnie, so we have so I can see this and I can watch it.
That one is we check in where the rooster.
Oh, you just pull that. No, you make it look easy.
Yeah, just now, not easy. It's a little pull,
Okay.
That one is the problem. That one.
Okay.
I will check it. Nice, huh? It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. This is the sort of weed that's really super irritating. So I've been down here pulling at this weed for maybe a minute and a half, and I mean, it will not come out, and I am leaning back all my body weight. Ah! What are you having for lunch?
Oh, we're having some homemade egg salad sandwiches, open faced, all over my face.
It's all over your mouth. Other side. I want to get, what were you saying about Roundup?
Machine weeding and hand weeding is really slow and takes a lot of time, and you can see why people are attracted to horrible chemicals like Roundup, because they go through and they spray it, and it leaves a perfect open space under the vine that's completely dead and denuded of anything. It doesn't look right, but it's cheap and effective, but we would never do that.
Okay, Farmer John.
So we're out here on Easter Sunday at Joy Fantastic, and we're doing some weeding. Last week, the tractor came through with the weed knife, which cuts a lot of the surface weeds, but not everything, doesn't get all the big ones. The big ones being things like malva, mustard, and thistle. The mustard you can kind of pull out by hand, but the malva has a really deep taproot, and you really have to dig it out. So we've got our shovels here to do some digging.
Well, we were using a hoe, and Minnie came yesterday, and can you tell us what he said about that?
Yeah, so we do have hoes. If you're hoeing them, you're really just kind of cutting the tops off, and they will probably grow back in a few weeks' time. And so we're just trying to get everything out, dig it out, pull it out so it won't regrow right away for later in the season.
Okay, so you've got malva and thistle right there.
Yes. This is actually, I think there's some kind of actual dandelion actually. It's not thistle.
Oh,
But
that doesn't
this
hurt.
stuff you can actually kind of just,
Doesn't feel good when your butt gets caught on it.
no, you can kind of chop it out. But the malva, then you have to go and try to find where the root is. And so it's down in there.
This is the time-consuming part of this.
Down.
Oh,
That one popped out nicely.
oh my gosh. Oh, wow.
But you can see it's got a nice taproot down there.
You're a hero.
Yeah.
It's never that easy for me.
But you can see you can't really pull them out. You really have to struggle.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and then when we're done, we hope it looks like these rows over here that we did yesterday.
Aw, look. Don't they look so nice that we did yesterday? Yay, clean rows.
Mustard.
Yeah, I want a mustard.
So this is mustard, which you can see all over California vineyards, and it looks really pretty, but it is a weed. And this stuff's pretty big.
It's big, but it doesn't feel as deep. Some of them, that one's really intense, but it doesn't feel as deep rooted as you can really get under there.
We might have to dig this one out. That's a big one. You can see it's just growing right next to the vine.
Yeah. What's been hard for me is to try to not to dig up the vine. What I've been doing is Minnie said something about don't damage the roots of the vine, but it's not always. Oh, there you go. Oh my God, look at that thing.
That's a good one. It smells good though.
Okay, and one more thing, malva. Talk about what you learned about it last night.
Malva is an invasive species. It's not native to California or North America, but it grows in all kinds of different soils, and so you'll see it all over, everywhere. I mean, people's backyards, vineyards, farms, everywhere.
It's all over here. And then this middle block has a particular problem with malva, which
Yeah,
we're
it's
gonna
all this stuff kind of here in the road there.
all of this.
That's all just malva.
Yeah.
But it can be used for all sorts of different medicinal purposes as well, indigestion and things like that. But
Are you gonna eat malva?
no, we're just gonna try to get rid of it. Otherwise, it's a real pain in the butt.
So this is my new oh God, I don't look good at all during a quarantine. Ugh. Lack of makeup and Botox isn't helping my situation, but that's not your problem. That's my problem. It's my husband's problem. This stuff. I've had that before on a pizza at Roberta's, I think in Culver City. It's stinging nettle, and it stings like a beep when it gets on your arms. And when you sit in it, it goes through your pants, under your butt, and it hurts. And that's what's happening to me right now.
Tastes good though.
It does not taste good.
So this is a block of Pinot Noir that had the weed knife go through about 2 weeks ago, but has not been hand hoed, and you can see there's a ton of weeds under the vines. There's loads of this malva in this middle block. And so this tomorrow we'll go through and hand hoe all of it, and the hopes is that it will end up looking much more like this up in the Chardonnay that we finished over the weekend. And you can see nice and clean under the vines. The question is, why do we do this? So we do the hand hoeing of the weeds to make sure that there aren't any weeds left over as we get into bud break and into the spring growing season. The reason for doing that is we don't want any extra competition for the vines, pulling both water and nutrients out of the soil that the vines should have. Generally, high quality vineyards are planted in areas where the soils are a little challenging. The climate is also challenging. So we want to give the vines every chance they can have to put up a good canopy, get good fruit set. And if we leave all these weeds in, as the spring and summer continue, they're just going to get really established. The weeds themselves are going to establish roots all around the topsoil where the vines are and really create a lot of competition. And if we don't get them out now, they're going to be probably locked in there all season and keep producing and producing. We'll just have more and more weeds as the years go on. And so we want to do everything we can to give the vines a chance for a good, healthy growth.